you, Taylor.
It's my pleasure to welcome our colleague and friend, Joyce Roche, back again. Joyce, I talked to a number of people, and they keep looking forward to your return.
Good.
A lot of people are really interested in what you're doing and what you have to say about it.
Very interesting program, and it's the last program we had was on drugs, and we had, everything you need to know about street drugs. And the thing you really should emphasize when you get into a conversation is these things are not just victimless drugs, because practically every breaking and entering, they're looking for something like jewelry or something that they can sell to get money for drugs. They made an interesting comment. How many people, and he looked at a couple of the women, know exactly what your jewelry looks like, and you tell the policeman, well, I had this nice diamond ring, it was such and such. He said, go home and take pictures of it, just in case. He said, but chances are it's already been taken someplace, and they take the stone out, and that's it. But the problem with the other thing is, wherever you are, lock your car, because sometimes people just go along. If the car is open, they'll see what they can get out of it. Otherwise, they, leave it alone and go on to the next car. Same thing with your house. Lock your house. I know when I go out in the yard, if I'm a distance from the door that I went out, I lock the door and take the key. I don't want to come back and find some stranger in my house doing who knows what, right? It's easier to have your key.
These are really very, very, very simple things that can be very easily overlooked.
Right, and lots of people, if you have real valuables, you really should have pictures of them, and if they have serial numbers or whatever. So that was the one on drug abuse. That was Sergeant Brackett.
Well, I think that insurance company, if you have homeowners insurance,
right?
You should have that, and should be registered with the insurance company so they know what they're insuring.
So, as it says in our book, students will be given the opportunity to ride along in a cruiser. Now, I didn't do that, but there will also be a firearms day. So, never having even been close to a gun, and all the times I go down Depot Road and I see that fence with the sign, do not go in. I've always been dying to find out what's in there. So
just like the kids, if it says don't, I got to go find out.
I got to see what. Well, when you go in there, there's a dirt road, and the highway department actually graded the road for us. 6 people from the class went in. I think one couple, one man and a woman, had experience with guns, but the other 4 of us did not, had never had a gun. So they had a lesson. They let us handle make-believe guns, a pistol and a rifle. The rifle was really quite heavy, but I'll tell you, they take you up to the line, and show you how to hold it.
Okay.
This
is your results.
That's my only rifle shot. The rifle was too heavy, so they wanted you to do 3 shots. This one I know is a pistol shot, because the instructor said, you got him in the head. Now, one or 2 others of these, it's a pistol shot too, but all these other holes are the instructor demonstrating.
Okay.
So it was fascinating. And it's just a great big old sand pit in there. And it's, there's always a question of lead in the ground. And because I've, read about that in a number of places, they have it in front of the dugout sand pit. There's a big cement block wall and then sand in front of that so they can retrieve any kind of bullets.
Now, how did you feel the recoil? Rifles and pistols, they're supposed to recoil.
You know, they show you exactly how to hold it. And after it shoots, your hand is up here.
Yeah.
It really, but the rifle really,
feel it in your shoulder? No?
No, it's just that being old and arthritic and having to handle the heavy rifle, I thought one shot's enough.
One shot's enough.
Before I have an accident. And as the policeman is standing right next to you for fear that you might hear a noise over there and turn, you know. It really was interesting. Now, I know if it was something I were really interested in, you have to do a lot of practice. So,
like with a lot of things.
Yes, as I said, whatever you see on TV, don't do that. That's not the way we do it. This bit about a guy getting down, holding the gun in one hand, was really very interesting. So actually, now we're going to have tonight, this is Thursday, November 8th, Detective Michael Porter and Detective Joseph LaBelle. And Wayne Chase is going to talk about probation and lethal force. Then November 15th, we're going to have the talk is going to be on patrol procedures. Then the last meeting is the Monday of Thanksgiving week, and Sergeant Jasek, who has been organizing and pretty much running the whole thing, is going to give us information on terrorism and bombs.
Whoa, that's scary.
Yeah, right. So, and graduation. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
So, I recommend that anyone in town, it is well worth it.
Can we just go back a bit to the drugs now that you have hard drugs and then you have prescription drugs? Now, do they caution people about prescription drugs? Or
absolutely.
Should you hide them in your house? You know?
You know, you can expect that if somebody breaks into your house, they're going to look for drugs and jewelry. You know, things they used to look for flat screen TVs, but TVs have gone down so much in price that doesn't.
Resale value has gone down. Yeah.
Right, and right in the lobby of the police department is a container to put any prescription drugs, because I know the visiting nurses took care of anything I had in the house.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
And because she was taking care of it, and I said, take other stuff that's around, you know. She said, yes. I said, good. And I got rid of everything. But, yes, and of course these crazy people take everything.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, which is sad.
And there are things, by chance, that they might have gone over that are not listed as drugs, but which can be used for highs or whatever they want.
Yeah, the kids do crazy things like inhaling stuff from all kinds of products that are canned. But these books are available, and you got a whole history on where the stuff comes from, how much it costs. Oh, I'll tell you something funny. They were talking about how they package cocaine, and they take a baggie and they shake the cocaine down into the corner and twist the baggie so you end up with, depending on, it's got a name for each amount, you know, I forget what they are. But then they take that little thing and they put it in another baggie. So as the officer was explaining this was the day after Halloween, I said, you know what? Last night, I just gave out 30 little plastic bags. I said, but they only contained coins.
Oh, coins.
Yeah, for Halloween.
Oh, very
yeah,
good.
so the guy said, aha, a coin dealer. But it's important to know if you have children or grandchildren, you know, what this stuff looks like. But I can remember when I was
I
teaching school.
I don't know what it looks like.
I never actually saw drugs. But the thing you would look for in school is if the behavior of the child changed.
Yeah.
You know, high school kids. You know, one day they're happy, and the next day, or they look like they haven't eaten, or they haven't slept. And all this information is available, and people don't realize that even Harwich is full of people going around looking for houses to break into.
Okay, yes, I'm beginning to recognize that. We had one of our neighbors experience that, which is traumatic, I think, for anybody.
Destroy anything in the house?
I haven't talked to the person yet, but we haven't heard too much.
Yeah, recent?
Within about 4 or 6 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah,
I think,
it is scary. You
now,
know,
where can they get this booklet?
They gave us these, and I would suggest that you go down to the police department, give them a call. Most of you know Donna Tavano. She writes a column in the Council on Aging Bulletin. And Donna's often at the desk during the day, so if you give her a call, or I bet you can go into the Council on Aging and find out also. But, and there's information about everything, and they're only too happy. In fact, they encourage you to find out what's going on, because it just makes everybody safer.
That's very good advice.
So I'm going to put this up in I have 2 friends that have licenses that live in another town, and she has hers posted in the garage. So I'm going to put mine up in the garage, so in case anybody comes up my back driveway and looks in my little garage window, they'll see. They won't know that that was the instructor that got him in the chest, you know, and they'll be too afraid to come in my house.
That's
I
right.
hope.
You hope. Well, I think just looking at that, I don't think I'll become a criminal.
Good. I've decided not to take up target shooting as a hobby. Stick to my quilting.
Stick to your quilting. Well, that's very good. Well, once again, it's been a pleasure, and it's informative too. You know, and very,
absolutely.
A lot of people out there, I hope, are listening.
Yep.
And will incorporate the safety issues that you brought up about keeping your house protected, your car protected, and your person. You
easy things to do.
Yes.
And next year, when Sergeant Jasek comes, well, I'll have to get in on the interview and tell people how good the whole program was.
Well, we'll look forward to that.
Good.
And we'll see you again in a week or two while you bring us up to date on the
how graduation went.
Very good. Well, continued good luck with the program, and thanks to Police Department for offering it.
Oh, yes, definitely.